Yeah, they hate, but they broke though. And when it's time to pop, they have no shit. Yeah, I'm pretty, but I'm loco. The loud got me moving slow mo. Hey, yo, Tweety, what on?
Can't see you, bro.
Hey, yo, Keys, what on?
Can't see you. All I want to see is that. Y'all hear it?
It's a man, you don't know.
This is Homeboy Fishing, broadcasting live with football with a Dabba Fisher. It's Pretend or Contender Week, featuring my number one partner in crime, always on time, but late this morning, Chocolate Hefe. Break it down to him,
Good morning, folks. Week 13 of the NFL. Let's give you the rundown real quick. We're going to start off with the Power 5 as always. We're going to have our topic of the week. We're going to talk about our big, bass games of the week. And Homeboy Fish is going to break down the fishing forecast for the day. And we're going to sound off. And right after, we're going to run through the college program. So we're going to get this thing started. Go ahead, Homeboy Fish.
Okay, this is Homeboy Fishing, broadcasting live once again for the Carolina Panthers, then giving you my Power 5. You remember something? We don't care about what you think. We don't care about what you think. We don't care about what you think. All we care about is what Chocolate Hefe think. But this is my Power 5. My Power 5, my number 15 goes to the Minnesota Vikings.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the Purple People Eaters.
Case
Keenum is playing for some money. He's really trying to get some money.
Gotcha.
All right, my number 14 goes to the Carolina Panthers. That's my Carolina Panthers. They have not allowed one 100-yard rushing all year long. Ain't nobody going to run for no 100 yards on the Panthers, but we're going to get on that. Pay attention. We're going to tell you what. Remember something. We ain't preaching. We're just teaching. All right, my number 3 team, big mix-up, goes into the Philadelphia Eagles. They drop from 1 to 3. Do you know why they drop from 1 to 3?
Talk to me.
Philly only has won one game against a team with a winning record, and that was against my Carolina Panthers, which they struggled.
Yep.
And barely got by. So you 10-1 and you ain't playing nobody. So you don't fell out my number 1 team.
Ooh.
My number 2 team goes to the New England Patriots. One reason, TB. They hit a rhythm, and one more win, Chocolate Hefe, makes him the all-time winners quarterback since the Super Bowl era.
That's a nice stat, yeah.
Right. And my number 1 team goes to T. Willie. He's been featured here on the show before. Goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They play a tough schedule. Antonio Brown on his stride. Le'Veon Bell. Big Ben got the team. They run it, they pass, and they got that defense back.
All right.
So tell me what you're working with.
Your top 5 is solid. Mine is solid as well. My number 5 is the same thing as you. I have the Minnesota Vikings. Case Keenum is looking like Joe Montana these days. I don't know what's got into this cat. I'll tell you what it is. It's called money and with a new contract. Move over Jordy Nelson. There's a new white chocolate receiver in Minnesota. His name is Adam Thielen. Yes. I don't know where this cat came from. He's snatching up everything. And finally, they have a great defense. They downright nasty. Atlanta's going to see that this week.
Yes, we'll get on that later.
Number 4 are my Carolina Panthers, as you can see from behind me. Not pretty, but we're winning football games. I don't know if you noticed, folks, but Cam Newton is running the football, which means he's getting healthy. And we got a defense that bends but not break, number 2 in the NFL. Number 3 is New England Patriots. Hottest team in NFL right now. Winners of 7 in a row.
7.
Brady can find receivers in the dark, blindfolded. This cat is talented. Best team in the AFC right now. Number 2 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They play much better at home. For a Super Bowl run, a real Super Bowl run, they need home field advantage. So they need to win out, I think. And they should be favored in most of their games. The next 2 games are divisional games, starting with Surge in Cincinnati on Monday night. My number 1 team is the Philadelphia Eagles. They're having fun right now. They're playing football. They did the electric slide after the last game. and now they got to go out west to Seattle. Seattle's going to be waiting, but on Sunday night, but that's going to be a good football game. So those are my top 5 teams for the week. New Orleans and Rams are right there, but they're not there yet. So what we're going to do now, we're going to transition to our topic of the week. Again, group participation is encouraged, the topic of the week. The topic of the week this week is, should Eli Manning remain the Giants starting quarterback? Homeboy Fisher, start us off.
First of all, shame on the New York Giants organization. You have a Hall of Fame quarterback with 2 Super Bowl wins, and you got a coach with an ego trip. They had lost everybody. They lost all their starting receivers. You didn't draft a running back in the draft when you had the opportunity. Your defense still there. But if I'm on that defense, why play hard? Because you throwing in Geno Smith, the guy who throws a football like he's throwing a baseball. He winds up with it. It doesn't work there. And me personally, I think the defense is going to lay an egg, and that everyone on the team pretty much going to quit because the coach ain't giving them a chance.
Well, so you think that what do you think about Eli Manning? You think that the Giants they're wrong with this, or they're right?
The ownership should step in at this point in time because he's your Hall of Fame quarterback. He hasn't given up. He still throws the ball every play. He goes and takes hits. He ain't laying the egg out there. He just don't have those weapons anymore.
You bring us some solid points, and me personally, should he remain a starting quarterback? Hell yes. His resume is like this. He has played 14 seasons in the NFL. He has been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been Super Bowl MVP, and he has 210 consecutive starts. They're going to replace him with Geno Smith. Over 5 years, Geno Smith has had 28 touchdowns and 36 interceptions. To give you a point of comparison, Cam Newton in 2015, during his MVP season, had 35 touchdowns in one season.
So you mean Cam Newton is 1 touchdown away?
He had 35 touchdowns.
He threw more interceptions than Cam Newton.
Correct.
Than Cam Newton threw
correct
touchdown.
Correct.
I
I personally think. I don't see why they're doing it. I can understand if your team is making a run to the playoffs and you needed a spark, but the Giants ain't going nowhere, dude. They are a 2 and whatever. They are not going anywhere.
We're not a Jay Cutler.
Like to your point, the top 3 receivers are gone. The top 5 receivers, Odell Beckham gone for the year. The offensive line can't block. They didn't draft a running back. Horrible. So you think Indy's going to do? You think Indy did that to Peyton Manning? You think New England's going to do that to Tom Brady? I don't think so. I don't think you do that to a person who's poured so much into the program. So, New York Giants, you get the dookie face. Shame on you because that's some bullshit. Let this man ride out the season, then throw him to the pass, or let him try another team in the NFL. Right. That is our topic of the week. We see we have no responses, so we're going to keep moving here. Now we're going to get into what we call our big bass games of the week. These are football games you should be watching. Get us started, Homeboy Fisher.
Right, we're going to start off with Sunday night's game. Philly versus Seattle. Bird game. The Eagle is going to get ate by a Seahawk. There's no such bird as a Seahawk, okay? If everybody don't know, there's no such bird as a Seahawk. And you only beat one team with a winning record. And I think Russell Wilson, he's elusive enough to get around that pass rush.
Okay.
And he's going to open up room with these no-name receivers, and they're going to show Philly in order to play with the big dogs, you got to come out west. And I think Philly will lose to Seattle by 7 points, strictly because of Russell Wilson.
Well, guess what? I got that same game here as well, and those are some solid points. You think Philly's going to lose?
I think Philly's going to lose.
Okay. Well, this is my take on it. A little different. Russell Wilson is playing MVP football right now, okay? He accounts for 82% of his team's offense right now. 82%, which means if he's not on the field, this team is going to suffer big time. Seattle's defense is a shell of what it used to be. However, the defensive line is still intact, and they will get after Carson Wentz. Philly has been basically a very high-wide act right now, balancing act. They're tough and well-balanced. Me personally, I think Seattle's playoffs hopes are going to turn for the worse. I think they depend too much on Russell Wilson. So with that said, I think that Philadelphia is going to win again.
They haven't beat a team with a winning record but one.
I understand. And I hear your point. I won't be surprised if Seattle wins. They're playing at home. It's going to be a night. It's hard to win up there. But this year, Seattle looks vulnerable. And I think they're going to fall into the Philly this year. Right. So next big bass game of the week is the Minnesota Vikings at Atlanta. Let me start off with this and let you finish up here.
Go ahead.
The 2016 version of Julio Jones back. The Cat went for 2 touchdowns, over 250 yards last week against Tampa Bay. Minnesota ain't Tampa Bay. Minnesota got a defensive back by the name of Xavier Rhodes. He's big. He's fast. He can run with Julio. Their defense, linebacker, defensive line going to shut down Freeman. But Atlanta's defense going to make some plays at home. Atlanta's key to win this game is they've got to make Case Keenum go back to his old ways. Close football game. I think home field is the advantage. So with that said, I am going to say that Atlanta's going to win by 3.
Well, I guess you don't follow homeboy fishing because the Purple People Eaters are going to get out to Matt Ryan early and often, okay? The linebacker, you have Freeman just coming off concussion protocol. They're going to put him back on concussion protocol.
They're going to knock him out, bro.
They're going to knock him out the game. Xavier Rhodes, he's big, like you said. He's going to jam Julio on the line of scrimmage. He's not going to give Julio a clean release. And I think Minnesota defense is overwhelming. It's going to punish, Atlanta's offense. Your offensive line is not going to be able to contain those defensive linemen coming at them. They come fast. And this week, Barney is coming for you. The Purple People Eaters will come to Georgia. Barney. Everybody remember Barney. The Purple People Eaters will come to Georgia into the Mercedes-Benz Dome and shock only the Atlanta Falcons fan.
Okay.
Right, and they will win by 10.
Well, so we've had 2 games so far. We've had 2 different picks. Okay, let's see if we can reel this last game.
Okay, we're going to reel
the last game is the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Let me give you some facts. The fact is, I'm a Carolina fan. You all know this. Homeboy Fishing Carolina fan. But so we're going to cheer for our team naturally. But here's some facts. Carolina is 20-6 under Ron Rivera in December. Math people, that is a 77% winning percentage, which means they win 3 out of 4 games in a division in December. That's what they win. They're going to win 3 out of 4 games. That's on average. Carolina is also 5-1 on the road this year. New Orleans was exposed last week, Steve.
Yes, they was.
Last week. Panthers defense will stop the run and make them one-dimensional. I think Drew Brees is going to look kind of old after this one.
I do too.
I think, and so basically with that said, Panthers about 7. We're going to win in a row. We're going to take the division. We're going to be leading. Go ahead.
Okay, everybody's saying, boo. Charles Johnson, yes, he is suspended for 4 games. But you know what? We got a stable of defensive tackles that we can keep in the rotation coming out. Like I said earlier, the Panthers have not allowed a 100-yard rusher. So, therefore, Saints are going to try to use both of their rushers. Therefore, we're going to take Drew Brees out of his rhythm, and we're going to stop the run. Drew Brees is going to, like you said, revert back into his AARP card. And he may want to get on that bus because
what's that? What's going to happen?
Peppers is coming for
Peppers is coming?
Peppers is coming. We're going to sprinkle up pepper on it. All right?
Real quick, let me get a shout out right quick before you get into the next 7, which is the fishing forecast. I forgot at the beginning of the show. I want to wish safe travels to all those Dormant Cavalier fans headed down to Columbia, South Carolina to watch Dormant Cavaliers play Dutch Folk Silver Foxes in the state championship, 5A championship in South Carolina.
All my Dormant alumni. We're going to get this.
Bring home the title, Cavaliers. DHS. Yes.
But, hey, Luke and Cam together.
What's that? Superman and Clark Kent.
We're going to get this thing. But, hey, let's go right into the fishing game report. Hey, y'all, if you're not watching college football today, the peak time to be fishing will be at 12:40 today. And as the water's starting to get cold, the bass are getting lethargic. So what you want to do is you want to try something to strike the bite. This right here is a soft tail Glow Pro luminescent. Yes, it does glow in the water.
It's pretty. Can you hang it up on a Christmas tree too?
Yeah, you can hang it up on a Christmas tree. But this right here, you run out along the shallow banks. If there's a bass up on the dock or something, you know what? You'll be getting some.
I like that. I like that lure. I like that lure there. But
glows in the dark.
This is what we're gonna say here. This has been a great week. We want to always thank our viewers for tuning in. We can't be on the show without you. Shout out to Dante White. Shout out to Melissa Hughes. Shout out to the Bros.
Let me give a shout out to Woo, Travis Scott, April Roger, Andre Harris, Jermaine Wilkins, all y'all who watch Mr. Burgess. Thank you for tuning in.
Right.
That's DHN. That's the old prep for everybody.
We are the Black Beatles. We are Homeboy Fishing and Chuck Cafe.
Hey, you remember something? If you ain't fishing, talking about football or watching football with a dab of fishing, you ain't doing nothing. So you remember something. Get some.
Also, Remember, tune in for the college segment coming up next.
Yes,
Big
championship
weekend,
week.
Robbery weekend, championship weekend.
Championship week.
Let's get it going.
Nice
folks.
show. Let's get this thing going.
They lose it when the DJ drops the knee. So gone, I'm